Well, thank you so much, Wally, for taking your time to walk us through step by step on how to create an event on Darkroom.
Okay, this is for Darkroom Core, the latest version, and this will be a demo of how to set it up for an event where there's multiple ways you can do this with different feature sets, and I'll go through some of them that are, I feel like, the best way to do this type of event where we're not charging the individual customer, we're taking photos and printing multiple copies for the number of people in the event. So, let's get started. All right, first of all, what you're seeing right now on the screen is the photo library. That's where you would see a thumbnail of images. This is a sample event. So this is what it would look like if you first open Darkroom Core. We're going to start by clicking right there on events and then clicking new to create our own event for this. And we're going to add a catalog of images. And then it comes up and asks me for all this information. Most of this is for your own information to be able to search in the future. It may or may not be anything you need. You can set the category of event. I'm going to put it to an event. That's also just for your own information, so you can keep different types of events separated in the catalog system. Here's where you can give it an event name, and I'm going to give this an event name, Texas School 2025. Okay. It does take place in Addison, Texas, and so on. And the date I'm going to put down as the 29th. That's when the future date is. Again, all of that's just for your own reference and not that important if you don't feel like you need that information. Now I'm going to click finish, and you'll see right there we have our new event and no images in it. All right. So we'll move on and create a few more things, and then we'll come back and add our images. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the setup tab. If you look down at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see photo library, photo workshop, et cetera, setup. That's where we'll set up the next few steps. So if you click on setup, and then we're going to go to the template group under products and services, templates. Now, here you can create your own groups to separate templates. You could dump them all in one big folder if you wanted to. I prefer to create separate folders for different templates so that we can keep templates for each event and things separated. So that's, again, just a convenience feature to help you keep things organized. So up in the top left corner, I'm going to click New Group, and let's call this one Texas CH School. Okay. And I'm going to click OK. So now we had to have a group called Texas School, and it has no templates in it. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to come over here and click Add. So we're going to create our first template. For this particular demo, I'm going to create two. They're pretty much identical with graphics provided, but one's going to be vertical and one's going to be horizontal. So you can choose a directory of borders. They're called borders in Darkroom for some reason, not templates. Templates is a more modern term, but borders have been around for years. So we're just going to leave that right there, and I'm going to click Add. That's actually not what I wanted to do. I wanted to click New, not Add. We're creating a new one. Okay, so new one here, and we're going to call this, you can call it whatever you want, Texas School, and this one's going to be H for horizontal. Now, right here, you'll see the size. This is where you'd choose the size for your template, and what we're going to be printing are 6x8s. So I'm going to choose a 6x8 horizontal. Everything else you can just leave the default. Click OK. And then there's our blank palette ready to add our graphics. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click Add Graphic on the left-hand side. Click Add Graphic and then browse to go to my folder. It's a good idea to keep all your graphics organized in one particular place. I usually try to keep a folder with all the graphics so that they don't get lost. If you scatter them all over your hard drive and on the desktop and things like that, then you may lose track of them. And if you have to move to another computer, then it can become complicated. So it's best just to keep them all on one folder. Okay, so here is the 8x6 graphic. I'm going to click Open. It's a PNG, and click OK. And there we are. Okay, so we're going to create our border. I'm going to click on new and give it a name. Texas School, H for horizontal, and then we'll set our size for the overall size of the print and click OK. So there's our blank palette that we're going to add our graphics to. Now over on the left-hand side, you'll see a little button that says Add Graphic. So click Add Graphic. Then when you click Add Graphic, click Browse to go to the correct folder. And we're going to get the horizontal graphic and click Open and then OK. And there's our graphics added. Now, we need to add a photo here that our future photo, once we take it, will go into. To do that, click over on the left where it says Add Photo. It's the second option down. And then just click OK. All of the options that are listed there are fine. And then we want to change the order. Over in the top right, you'll see border items, and that's a list of all the things. Think of Photoshop layers. We want to have the photo on the bottom and the graphic on top. So change it like that. And you can see right there that I've got the photo layer in there with the big number 1. That's where the next photo we're going to go. If you were going to have more than one photo in a template, you could add a number 2, a number 3, etc., and add additional photos. But right now we're just going to have this one. Now I'm going to come over here and click Save Changes so that we have that one completed. And then we'll go ahead and while we're at it, we'll create a second one. You'll see a thumbnail there of the one we've already done. We're going to create a second one that has the vertical template. Okay, I'm going to call this one the same thing because they're basically the same. Texas School, big finger, small keyboards. Texas School. Okay, Texas School, and this time we're going to select vertical and create our template there. And we're going to add our graphic, browse for it. There's the vertical template. It's already completed. Click OK, and there's our template. Now I'm going to add that photo spot again on the left-hand side. Click Add Photo. Just keep all of the defaults. Click OK, and I'm going to change the order so that the graphic's on top, and then make sure it's just about the right size. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that is all done and ready, and I'm going to click Save on that one as well and save that. And so now you'll see in our template group, we have one horizontal and one vertical. All right, so next, let's move on to our next step. All right. Now we're going to create a package group. Now, a package group, I'm going to back up just a little bit and explain to you. If you looked in the photo library, up here in the top right corner, you can see all these possibilities. You can have various packages. This is the sample that comes with the software. But in these packages, you'll see they're at the top, single 8x10, 2 5x7s, 8 wallets, etc. When you click on that one thing or select the number beside it, 1 through whatever, it will send that to the printer. So in this particular case, we're only going to be doing 6x8 at the event. So I want to eliminate all those to eliminate confusion and change that to where there's only one listed the size we're going to do. And that way we don't have any possibility of choosing the wrong size that we don't even have the capability of printing if we don't have an 8x10 printer or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back over here to the setup tab, and in the package group section, I'm going to click over here in the top left, new group, and I'm going to call this one Texas School. You see a pattern? Those are all just for organizational purposes. So I'm going to click OK. So now we have, look here, Texas School as a package group. Now, the very first package has nothing in it. So we're going to double click right there, and I'm going to change the name of this to 6x8. Oops, 6x8. And also in this screen right here, you'll notice this little checkbox right here, quick print. Now, what a quick print does is there's two different options in Core where you can have a normal package where it goes into the shopping cart and waits until everybody has made their decisions about what they want to order. That might be something you would use for a Santa Claus event or something where someone is selecting for multiple photos or multiple package options where they can choose, say, an 8x10 or wallets or something. Then they can go into the shopping cart, and when they finally say, yes, that's everything I want, then you click and pay for them and move on and print them. But in this particular case, we just want to get it done as quick as possible. We want to take the photo, choose how many how many copies we're going to do, and then send it right to the printer without stopping or anything in the shopping cart. So I'm going to click quick print. That will send it immediately to the printer. We don't need a price because we're not charging per photo or anything. So click OK, and boom. So there I have my 6x8 created. Now I've got to add a print over here. So in the top right-hand corner, you'll see add local print item. Now a package in Core can have multiple items. So when one particular package, when you select it, you can send it directly to the printer and send, multiple things. But in this case, we're only doing a 6x8. So I'm going to go down through here and I'm going to drop down this menu and go to 6-inch prints and then come down to 6x8. So you see right here in Core, when you see 6x8 or see a size and then followed by a parentheses with another size, that means this size piece of print on this size piece of paper. So in this case, it's a 6x8 on a 6x8. You could do, say, a 4x6 on 5x7 if you wanted to have a border or something. But in this case, 6x8 on a 6x8 is correct. So I'm going to click OK. Now then, it's also a good idea anytime you're doing any sort of event with Core to save out a file of the actual image sent to print. That would include any graphics. It would also include any cropping or anything that you might do on the image, so you don't have to worry about recreating it later if someone wants a print. So in this same package item, I'm going to click Add Local Print Item. In the drop down, I'm going to scroll all the way down to Digital Delivery Products, and then I'm going to choose Digital Media. So it's going to save a file. In this case, the first option is where I want to save it. So I've got a folder already set up here on my desktop, and I'm going to go down here to that folder and put it right there. And JPEG is what I want. That's fine. You can let Darkroom choose the file name, or you can put a variable in there if you wanted to have your own name with a prefix or something like that. And then full size is the size that I want. And I'm just going to click Apply Settings. So now with one touch of a button in our package group, then it will send a 6x8 print to the printer, and it will also save out a file identical to the print on as a JPEG. Now that we've got that all done, um, let's see, we're going to go back to the photo library, and we want to get that package group we just created up here. So down here in the bottom right, you'll see Add Package. I'm going to click right there, and you can see I've got all of these various groups, and here it says Change Default Group. Now I'm going to choose Texas School. That's the one that I created. Now you'll see all we have is a 6x8, and it has a number 1 beside it. So to print this and send this to the printer, you can either choose the number 1 on your keyboard, just press number 1, or you can click on this with your mouse to choose it. You'll also notice that I don't have any images yet, so I'll move on from there. All right. So a couple of things that I want to do before we move too far on is I want to set a few uh, convenience things. These are not mandatory, the options and everything would work, but a few things that will just make things easier for you in an event like we're doing where we're not charging by the print or anything like that. So let's go back to the setup tab, and over on this side, you'll see this little shopping cart in the top left that says fulfillment options. If you select that, then you see receipt options. The default under receipt options is to show an order before placing the order. So what that means is when you click placing the order, it's going to come up and tell you you've got, one set 8 by 6 by 8, and it's, in this case 0 because we didn't put a price in. And then you have to okay that before you move on. That's great if you're actually charging by the print because it'll calculate how much they owe you and add sales tax. But in this case, we don't need that, so I've turned that off. The advantage there is it just goes right to the printer and I'm not delayed and stopping. The next thing I want to do is go back to the photo library, and in our package, well, let me import a couple of pictures first. Normally we would have a camera tethered. I don't right now, but what I want to do is import a few photos so that we have some photos to work with, and you can see how that works. So I'm going to go back to the desktop and go to the folder that I already have created with some images in it. And I'm going to import a few images. They're JPEGs. There's some images right there. I'm just going to pick a few and import those. And now you'll see they all come into the software. If we were doing a tethered camera, we would see these come in at the same time. So now that these are in the software, let's select an image, and under View, see this little option right here, Show Photo Icons. Um, The options I like to have in this situation are show photo file names so that we see the actual name that the camera has given the photo, and then show photo icons. Now, show photo icons, you don't see it now because I haven't printed anything, but when you print one, it'll put a little bitty tiny icon right here that looks like a piece of paper with a corner folded over. It's just a little tiny icon. The advantage to that is when you're looking at all these images, and you may have, 100 images in there, you're going to be able to see which ones you've printed and which ones you haven't yet, so that you can see, okay, I just finished with that one, I'm going to move on to the next one. And that helps for organizational purposes, and you can do that so you don't get confused about, where you are, where you got left off. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to go to the Setup tab again, and I want to go to Printer Options right here on the left. When I click on Printer Options, you'll see right here I have one printer listed. Now, if you look across over here, you'll see detected 0. That means I have the printer added here, but it is not actually connected. So when I connect a printer there, it'll show detected 1. And then in this list, when you double click on it, you'll pull up here, you'll see the printer listed here with its serial number and how many prints remain on the media in it, and so on. Now, if you have multiple printers, now in this particular case, to speed production, we're going to take advantage of Darkroom Core's built-in print queuing and packet in print uh, spooling to separate prints out to multiple printers to get them printed faster. So if you have more than one printer listed, it will list them all right here. You'll see different serial numbers and so on. And under detected, it'll show you 2, 3, 4. Our plan right now is to use 4 printers at this particular event. And the advantage there is it will get them done faster. So when we have multiple copies, they'll print faster. But the default in Darkroom Core is to send all of one group of prints when you choose a quantity and send them to one printer to collate them and keep them together. But that's also slow. So what we want to do is down in the bottom right corner, you'll see common options. So we're going to click on common options, and then we want to click right here where it says distribute copies to multiple printers. By checking that, Darkroom will take the total numbers you request and divide them among the available printers. So for example, let's say we're going to do 8 copies of one print. So we choose, print 6 by 8, quantity 8, go. It goes to the printer. But in this case, with 4 printers, it's going to send 2, 2, 2, and 2. So it prints much faster than all of them going to one printer. So it just gets things done a lot quicker. So that's a good option to set when you're going to be printing like this. Then we go back here and go to the photo workshop. And in the photo workshop, you'll see all of your images here. Now you can have a couple of different sort options. So right here on catalog, you can click here and sort photos by rating time, blah, 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 and so on. I usually have them set by time. That way they display in the order that they're taken. that way you see them in the correct order. And so when you click up here, you select that top one. And we also want to make sure photo icons right there, you see it right there, is showing. So it's click on the catalog at the bottom left and choose show photo icons. All of those kinds of settings are once per event. So you don't have to do that every time, but that does give you that advantage of that little icon. So when you're doing these and you see all these printers or these images here, what you'll do is you just select one, and then we want to have the border or the template come up here. Now there's a couple of ways of loading that. In the Enhance tab, you'll see right here, this little section right there on the right, and it says Borders with a drop down. So when I select that, here's where I can choose my border under there, choose border. But on the right-hand side, you'll also see that we've got a little B, that's a speed key. So in Darkroom Core, if I press Home or End, that turns that border on or off for display, and then choose border as a B. So what I'll do is I'll press the B on my keyboard, and let me move this over here so you can see it. It shows a group like this. So I'm going to choose options and change to that border group that I created. There's my horizontal template right there. And I just click OK. So now it's going to be displayed right there. So now you can use the mouse wheel on your mouse to adjust the composition to anything you want, and get them all centered up nicely, like that. It's really quick and fast. You can click and hold your left mouse key to drag it around. You can use the scroll wheel to zoom in and enlarge it. And then when you're ready, you just click over here, and it will prompt you for the quantity that you want. It's faster to actually do this all with the keyboard. So right here, you can just click 1 to print the 6x8, and then I can choose 6 to print the quantity. It tells me it can't do it right now because I have a printer connected. And then it would just send it right to the printer. And then you move on to the next one. It'll put a little icon up here in the top of the image to show you you've already done that one. You just click on the next one, make any composition changes you want, zoom in if you want, and then choose the package and then the quantity. Simple as that. And then they go right to the printer. One other thing I wanted to point out, bottom right corner, you'll see all these zeros. That's a counter. And if you choose the drop down, you'll see that you can set various options depending on what you want that counter to show. So you've got total orders, total sheets, display print queue items. So in this particular case, I would choose display total sheets. The difference is, first of all, total orders. Okay, when I click a 6x8, I want 6 copies, then that's one order. 6 copies, one order. If I choose total sheets, then it would show 6, not 1. If I choose display items, that's things that are waiting to be printed. So if you want to, you can see real quickly, okay, I've got 20 packages waiting to be printed because we've gotten a little behind or something. With 4 printers, we shouldn't get very far behind at all. I would leave it on total sheets. That way you can look over there and see, I started out with 4 full printers, which should give me a total capacity of 1,600 prints. If you look over here and see this is set at 1178, you know that you have so many left to go, and that'll give you a really good indicator of how much media you have left. In the event that you wanted to have different media sizes and print to different printers based on the size, for example, let's say you have 3 printers. One of them is a 4x6 media, one of them is 5x7 media, and one of them is 8x10 media. Then in this section right here, depending on which printer it is, you'd see detected 3. You double click on it, you'd see the different printers listed here, and it would also list what size media is there. So you could select a specific printer, choose the print size, and choose what media you want to be able to print any particular size. So for example, if we have 6x8 media in one, you could choose that you only want to do a 6x8. So you just uncheck everything but 6x8. And then the only thing that can be sent to that printer is a 6x8. If you checked 4x6 down here, it would let that printer print a 4x6 and you could get two of them on a sheet. So you can do a variety of things. You could send a 5x7 like this and it would print one 5x7 in the middle of a 6x8 sheet, or you could uncheck that to prevent that from sending there. So it just depends on various checkboxes what you ultimately end up with and what sizes are sent to each printer. Otherwise, if you just leave the defaults, if you have 4x6, 5x7, and 8x10, Darkroom's just going to automatically send the correct print to the correct printer based on the media that you have. Now, in that example, I was assuming you had all DNP brand printers. If you had different brand printers, that's not a problem. You can just choose them from the list. If it's a directly supported printer, let's say that it's a, let's say it's a Symphonia CS2. So same thing, you'd see the serial number and everything for the printer down here. Print sizes can be selected there based on the media inside. And then you just see the multiple printers listed there. The only downside using different brands of printers is there might be slight color differences between the two printers, but that's because of the different printers and the way they reproduce color. You can make some small adjustments if you need to in the color tab for each one to account for that and bring them closer together. Generally, if you're using printers all the same brand, it's not an issue. They're really close right out of the box. Okay, one last thing we want to do is we want to upload these images as we're printing them to Event Gallery, to a gallery site. So what we'll do, first of all, is add our gallery account. So in the email and social media section of Darkroom Core under the Setup tab, click on Add Account, and we're going to go down and choose Event Gallery. And you'll see we've added an event gallery account, but it says authorization needed. So I'm going to double click on that. And here I'm going to put in the API code that we got from the gallery site. So we put that API code in there, click OK, and then you'll see that we're authorized and linked to that particular gallery account. So each gallery account, you would have your own API code. So once we do that, then we go back to products and services and the package group and choose our Texas School package group and the 6x8. So we've already got three items in here. One of them is their 6x8 print. And then we also have the digital media that we, you know, the same thing that we send to print, we're going to send to a file. So what we're also going to do is click over here and add local print item, and we're going to choose event gallery post. Click OK, and then we've got an event gallery post. So that way, every time we send a print, it's going to save a digital file and also upload that digital file to event gallery. So to link to a specific gallery, what we would do is come here, include and choose name, put in the actual name of the event that you created in Event Gallery, click the date and set the date. In this case, it's the 29th. You can upload whatever size. I'm going to choose full size. We don't want to add a template here unless you want to add a template in addition to the one you're already adding. This will already add the template by default that we already have on the screen, and we don't want to double add that one. But you could add a second one, like if you wanted to have a watermark or something on the print, you could add a second template here to do that only to the event gallery post. Either case, then we just click OK and we're done. And then now anytime we send something to print, it will also get saved as a file and then also automatically uploaded to event gallery.